Lesson 3.4, Exploring Number Patterns, Shapes, and Patterns. We have 3 learning targets today. Number 1, I can identify even and odd numbers using dominoes. Number 2, I can use pattern blocks to make shapes. Number 3, I can create patterns. The first thing we're going to do today is Exploration A, a domino sort. We are going to look at our groups of dominoes and determine if the dominoes have even numbers on both sides, odd numbers on both sides, or an odd number on one side and an even number on one side. If you look at our first domino, you'll see that on one side there is 2 dots, and on the other side there is 4 dots. In this case, both numbers are even numbers on both sides. So this would be a domino with even numbers on both sides. If you look at our second domino, we have 1 dot on the first side and 5 dots on the second side. This would be a domino that has odd numbers on both sides. If we look at our last domino and count the dots, the first side has 5 dots and the second side has 4 dots. This would be a domino that has an odd number on one side and an even number on one side. Now let's look at our recording sheets. You will have 3 different recording sheets. You will have a recording sheet for when dominoes have numbers, dots that are both even. You will have a recording sheet for when the domino on each side are both odd, and then you will have a recording sheet for a domino when one side is odd and one side is even. So again, if we look at our domino and find a domino that has both sides that are even, like the one right here, we have 2 dots on this side and 4 dots on this side. Both sides are even numbers. We're going to take this information and put it on our recording sheet. Inside the first domino on the recording sheet, you would write a 2 for 2 dots and a 4 for 4 dots. Now let's look at the next recording sheet. If we look at this domino, we know that it has 1 dot on one side and 5 dots on the other side. When we go to our odd, both odd recording sheet, we are going to go to the first domino and write that we have a domino that has 1 dot on one side and 5 dots on the other side. And you would just record it with numbers just like I did on the recording sheet. When we look at our third sheet, we're going to be recording dominoes that have one side odd and one side even. So when we look at our domino here, we know that this domino has 5 dots, and this domino, this side of the domino, has 4 dots. So again, when we go to our recording sheet, we'll be recording 5 dots on one side, which is an odd number, and 4 dots on the other side, which is an even number. The next thing we're going to do today is Exploration B, covering shapes with pattern blocks. You're going to need 3 things before you start this project. The first thing you're going to need is your paper that has shapes on it. You're going to need your pattern blocks, and you're going to need your green pattern block template. There are 3 steps to completing this activity. The first thing you're going to do is cover the shape with pattern blocks. So you're going to use these pattern blocks and try to cover your shape completely without going over the lines. Watch this model now. After you complete that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use your pattern block template to draw the shapes that you used onto your paper so we can see what pattern blocks you used. Watch this activity now. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to do it again another way on your paper. Have fun! The last thing we will do today is Exploration C, exploring patterns with pattern blocks. You will do this with a partner. The first partner makes a pattern. Here is a pattern. It goes yellow hexagon, red trapezoid, yellow hexagon. Then the other partner continues to make the pattern. So as you can see here, the second partner continued the pattern. Red trapezoid, yellow hexagon, red trapezoid, yellow hexagon. And that would go right up here.